Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel 100 Ideas. A private country house with an adjoining territory needs a proper organization of the yard. Landscaping is a complex and painstaking process. To create a truly picturesque exterior, you will have to spend no less effort and money than building and decorating the house itself. But you will be satisfied as the result will delight you for many years, and the comfort of the personal plot will allow you to spend a lot of time outdoors in an atmosphere of bliss. To create the landscape design around your country house, you can invite a professional who will draw up a project for you himself, and after approval will start working directly. This option is suitable for wealthy and busy people who don't like to work on the land, relying on the opinion of professionals in design and style. But to organize your own piece of paradise with your own hands means to immerse yourself in the creative process and create a truly unique design of the territory that fully meets personal requirements using a minimum of funds. Nowadays, all landscape tricks can be learned online for free. In this video, we will talk about the features of the ecological style in landscape design, the popularity of which is due to the human desire for the natural beauty of nature. After all, eco-style is a kind of embodiment of the genetic memory of the pristine harmony of the natural landscape. When zoning, it is necessary to observe the main rule: do not isolate the zones from each other. There must be stylistic unity between them. It is also important to ensure smooth transitions from one zone to another. The recreation area can be highlighted by a tall tree, under which a cozy hut will hide, from which a view of the barbecue area, fire, and a path running into the forest beyond the side boundary will open. Convenience and simplicity, no clear lines and symmetry. Such zoning is alien to nature, which means it is not suitable for an eco-garden either. It is not worth arranging a lawn as such in an eco-garden, and even more so to level the surface under it. If grass cover already exists on the site, then it is wiser to preserve it by moving and sowing seeds of clover or wildflowers. You can sow the seeds of the moorish lawn. For uniform germination when sowing, they must be mixed with sand, 1 part of the seeds to 3 parts of the sand. Caring for such a lawn glade, when it takes root and grows, is very simple. The most important thing is to regularly water and mow it in the fall 10 centimeters from the soil. Paths. Their paths should look natural. They can mowed in various directions. Paths lined with gravel or even better natural stone will also look good, but it's better to make them not straight and without curbs. Paths are also arranged from wooden saw cuts or boards of natural color. It is generally better to refuse fences, allowing your site to be part of a common ecosystem, but if you cannot do without them, they should merge with the surrounding landscape. Fences made of unpainted wood, vertical gardening on a natural basis, dense shrubs, mounds of natural stones. The main decoration of the site should be objects of natural origin: forest trees, huge boulders, snags, and tall stumps. Such natural small forms will not only decorate the site but also help in the arrangement of zones. For example, a tree with a twisted trunk will be an excellent basis for a rope swing in a children's area, and the house can hide in its foliage. Boulders and stumps will become furniture for a recreation area with a barbecue. Garden furniture, for the manufacture of which any natural materials are suitable, saw cuts, raw branches, natural stone, etc., must be unpainted. The barbecue area is best located closer to the border of the site. The ideal option is a hearth fireplace surrounded by stylized branches made of logs, natural stone, or just stumps. The same rule applies to the gazebo, the ideal option of which is a hut or its styling. The gazebo should be minimalistic, comfortable, made only from natural materials. It is very good if it does not stand out among the general landscape, but is, as it were, built into it. To do this, you can use the trunks of living trees or boulders as supports and load-bearing beams. The ideal solution for an eco-garden is a natural reservoir. A stream or river, and even part of a swamp will harmoniously fit into the overall design. If the reservoir has to be made with your own hands, then the main task is to give it the appearance of a natural one. So a pond can look like a forest lake, on the banks of which plants that are natural for the area grow. It is very important to use all the plants that grow on the site with maximum benefit. This is their natural environment and the guarantee that the eco-garden will be green without much effort. It is worth preserving all types of forest trees without trying to replace birch trees with fir trees, for which this soil may simply not be suitable. In the eco-garden, you can use any wild shrubs that will serve as fences in the allocation of zones: lilac, mock orange, elderberry, drain, wild raspberry are perfect. Eco-style in landscape design gives a person the opportunity to get as close to natural as possible, merge with it, making their housing part of a natural ecosystem. According to leading designers, this style is the future and its popularity will only grow. How to properly prepare a place for a future hill. First of all, it is necessary to remove the uppermost fertile layer of soil from the place designated as the base of the future hill and postpone it until the final stage. Also, you should take care of the soil for the frame of the hill in advance. Instead of soil, concrete, reinforced concrete, and metal structures that have already served their time can be effectively used. It is not worth filling the body of the hill with garbage because of its rapid decomposition and, as a result, the subsequent strong shrinkage of the entire hill. From natural materials, stones, crushed stone, sand are well suited for these purposes. It is not recommended to use clay because of its pronounced heaving properties. The device of the hill frame. The very principle of the work is as follows. First, prepare the base and the underlying part of the hill. To do this, non-granular or low-granular soil is used, for example coarse or medium-grain sand, which having previously been moistened to increase its bulk density, is poured in layers into the location of the base of the hill and ramped manually or by means of a ramming machine. After the foundation for the hill is prepared, begin to form its main part. For this you can use either ready-made structures, which were mentioned above, or pre-prepared soil. At the finished stage, the top and slopes of the hill are formed. To do this, previously deposited fertile soil is poured into the place of the purposed future top of the hill. The soil slides down under the influence of gravity, naturally forming the top and slopes of the hill. Planting plants. Due to natural shrinkage, the constructed hill will need at least 6 months for its natural shrinkage. If there is no strong desire to wait, then you can reduce the shrinkage effect by planting a number of unpretentious, fast-growing, beautiful plants on the top and slopes of the hill. At the same time, it should be remembered that light-loving plants should be planted on the top of the hill and the southern slope, while shade-tolerant plants should be placed on the northern slope. Thanks to the plants, the hill not only acquires an elegant appearance, but at the same time becomes stronger, more durable, able to effectively resist the processes of weathering. In the future, you can supplement the plants on the hill with other elements of landscape design, for example, beautiful boulders, depending on your preferences. From the above, it can be seen that the construction of an artificial hill on a country plot with their own hands is not a big problem for some residents. True connoisseurs of nature and landscape design. You just need to show a minimum of ingenuity and spend a little of your own time and effort. The reward in the form of a built and spectacular-looking hill will delight you and your family members for many years to come. It's no question why you need a firewood rack. Firewood is cheaper when bought in bulk, so it's only expected that you stock up on them. While this might get you excited, storing them is one important factor to consider. You can't simply keep them indoors, they might bring in insects and make the whole place a sore sight. Outdoors is a much better consideration, but you must learn to protect them from the elements of nature. You mustn't let the rain pour on them or leave them damp. It will spoil the wood and make them useless for burning. Firewood racks are the answer. A cart is a great idea for use as a firewood rack. It can either be made out of metal or wood, but whichever it is, the wheels on it have to be sturdy and durable. Firewood is after all not lightweight. The amount of extra firewood you usually buy will determine how large your firewood cart should be. It's a great way for storing wood because it keeps it off the floor, away from dampness, and it makes it easy to transfer firewood to your fireplace. You can easily wheel it to a point closest to your door. You do have to put the cart in a covered area to prevent it from rainwater. Aside from this, it's perfect for storing your firewood. A wooden shed as a firewood rack solves the problem of keeping the logs of wood out of the rain. It requires space in your yard and quite the knowledge of building. There are different designs available for you to pick from, and the size is based on the amount of firewood you will keep, the space you have, and the materials you have available. You can always employ the help of a friend or acquaintance who knows a thing or two about building, so it is easier to figure out. Aside from its function, it can have a great and fancy look in your yard. If you have a backyard fire pit, the best firewood rack idea to consider is keeping it under the backyard benches. This allows for easy access as there is no need to walk to another location to get wood to make a fire. Keeping them under the benches also saves you time, space, and any stress of building a structure from scratch. The bench must not be built on bare ground, else the firewood will absorb moisture. The bench can be built on brick or concrete. Pellet firewood rack. Pellets are easy to come by, and even if you have to cut them, they are quite inexpensive. They are versatile and not only meant to be used for transport. They can be used to build a firewood rack. They can be sometimes preferred to wooden structures because of their low cost and how much ventilation they allow. Good ventilation means the firewood is always kept from being damp. Pellets can be used to build different kinds of storage structures, including sheds, carts, and simple racks. You will need a little bit of knowledge about building to pull this off. 2-in-1 Counter firewood rack. Everyone needs a counter on the patio or in the backyard generally. It can be for several uses: hanging out in the open area, placing decor pieces, and eating lunch or dinner. Since you'll need one anyway, it makes financial sense to make the firewood rack in a way that doesn't cost more money. The space underneath the counter can be used to store the firewood. Due to the elements of nature, it is better to put the counter under a shade where it is protected than out in the open. For aesthetic purposes, it is advised to make sure the counter is also made of wood. We hope this video was useful to you. Like it, write your comments, and subscribe to our channel.